Mars in Gemini continues to fuck with my shit. I don't know the exact degree that Mars is currently in, but Mars is still very much in Gemini. In my 10th house, which is the house of Capricorn, the house of career. Usually I reserve these kind of videos for Patreon, my astrology rambles, but what the hell. I thought I would go ahead and put this on SIREN Tarot. So there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of multitasking, and that is not my thing. Was it last night? Probably. Yeah. My son has this new favorite show, Chainsaw Man. He's into anime. And so he and his dad have been doing this thing while my son has been with his grandparents. He's living with his grandparents in this small town in East Texas that we're in the process of moving to. He's going to come the day after Christmas to spend the holidays with us, and then I'll go back with him to stay with him and my mom and her third husband's house until the ex sells the house and we get a rental in this town that we're moving to. Anyway, he and his dad had this thing where they'll watch a show like Attack on Titans, and they're both watching the show together in different locations and talking on the phone while they do it. I don't really see the point in that. But we were trying to watch this Chainsaw Man show, and there were all these different versions, and we couldn't get the right one, which I don't mind listening to Japanese with no subtitles. I'm tired of hearing English all the time. But while I was watching this show in Japanese with no subtitles, my son was playing the version he was watching, which was in English, and that was just too much information for me. I couldn't process all this. And then I was texting back and forth with my Gemini mom, who is a pro at multitasking, regarding my dad and some stuff he's going through. My dad's a Taurus. Anyway, I have been taking a very long nap. I have been napping for 6 years, which is why I don't look my age. I don't think I look my age. And also I have a Virgo ascendant, so that helps. I turned 50 in February. If you have a Virgo, Gemini, or Capricorn ascendant, you're going to look younger than your biological age. But when I don't get my sleep, and if I've been on a crying jag, I cry a lot because, well, I have major depression, and I'm an FI dom, I'm an INFP. And I go back and forth. I'm not sure what the hell I am, but I don't see how I could really be anything other than an FI dom. So probably an INFP. When I took the first test online a few years ago, because an ENTP that I had a crush on told me I should take the test, and I took it online. I paid like $90, and it showed that I was an INTP. And then I read all the descriptions, and I went down that rabbit hole, and I said, there is no way in hell I am a TI dom. I suck at math and science. It took me several attempts to pass basic bitch algebra in college. My ISTJ Capricorn X had to relearn algebra in his 50s to help me get a grasp on the basics. And I mean, I just did the bare minimum so that I could pass the damn class finally in my middle age. And I said, if I ever actually pass this class and get my college degree in my middle age, I'm going to get the quadratic formula as a tramp stamp tattoo. I haven't gotten the tattoo yet, but that piece of paper, the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts in English with a concentration in creative writing. It's got my blood all over it. It was like my Vietnam. So, and my sister, my younger sister, a Libra, who probably is a TI Dom, she just breezed through her 4 years at UT in Austin. Made all A's in college. Throughout school, she made all A's. Anyway, so I took a long nap for 6 years. These past few years, I've done everything from chaos magic to angel magic. I have all of Damon Brand's books. I've gone down every rabbit hole you can think of esoterically. I got my first Reiki treatment in January of this year, and it was intense. I thought, I am so blocked that nothing's going to happen, because the Reiki practitioner was saying, Reiki master, whatever the hell she was saying, you may have no reaction at all. And I thought, well, I'll probably not have a reaction because I'm so blocked. But then about midway through the session, I started shaking uncontrollably. I felt like Axl Rose in that Don't Cry video when he's talking to the psychologist or psychiatrist or whatever. And I wanted to laugh and I wanted to cry, but I just suppressed it. So she said, yeah, all of your chakras were offline. I guess she doesn't like saying blocked. She said all of my chakras were offline, but after the session, they were all online. And just one more example of my very weird luck when it comes to humans and relationships. I was going to get another session with her. I was going to see her on a regular basis, but then she flaked. She never sent me the email for a follow-up. And I could have taken the ball and I could have emailed her, but I thought, no. She said she would email me, and she didn't. And I'm a stickler for integrity with the word. So I wanted to make this video real quick because I just woke up. It's 4:03 p.m. in San Antonio. I woke up earlier this morning, but then I took a bath and I went back to sleep listening to a brown noise subliminal on becoming a magnet. I woke up and I wanted to meditate, but then I had all of these text messages. My sister congratulating me because my son made this one-act play that he tried out for. He and his cousin, my sister's daughter, they both made the one-act play, and she was just thrilled over the rainbow about it. And then there was a long text from my brother regarding the move and how he wants to help us, but he's been working weekends. He's a truck driver, and so he can't help us. And he was telling me this company to check out. Anyway, I sent my son a text congratulating him, and I said, look out, Toby and Tom and Andrew. You're on your way to getting your Academy Award, something to that effect, congratulating him for this one-act play thing. I used to joke when he was younger, which I know it's disgusting, but I'm a disgusting person. I used to joke that he could be a child actor and he could buy mommy a house. Mommy could finally have a house because he would be this successful child actor. But he never really had any interest in acting. And then before he left San Antonio, before he moved to this small town in East Texas, he was involved in the theater arts department at this school, this high school that's in a really sketchy area. And a lot of things happened that made me say, okay, this is it. We're getting the hell out of Dodge. But anyway, he started getting interested in theater. And he sent me a text after I congratulated him saying, after this year, I'm done with theater. My experiences at the high school in San Antonio that he went to, they were so superior that being in this class or this department reminds me of the better experiences. And I said, that is an erroneous attitude. It's not about the experiences or the people, it's about the fire inside you. And I reminded him of Franny and Zoe. I have read the last few pages of Franny and Zoe to my son numerous times. The last time, this was about a year ago. I said, okay, something he said inspired me. I said, I'm getting Franny and Zoe out. He said, Mom, you've already read that to me numerous times. But I said, I'm reading it again. You got to hear this. You got to know this. This is the fucking truth. I get all passionate about it. It's in my top 5 favorite books of all time. So, it's just so profound. I was going to locate one of my copies. I have several copies of Franny and Zoe. That's how much I love it. I was going to read an excerpt, but if you know, you know. I've packed those books away. I have a few books left on the shelves. Most of my books are packed away for this move that is taking too long. Then I went to YouTube and I found the video for At the Ballet from Chorus Line, my favorite Broadway play, the 1975 original recording. And I sent that song to my son. And he said, there's not a fire inside me. I'm not interested in theater or acting. Over the years, there have been so many movies I've said, you've got to watch this. You've got to watch this. You've got to see this one scene at least. Please just watch the first 5 minutes of Crumb, the documentary of Robert Crumb. And if you don't like it, fine. But how can you not like the first 5 minutes of Crumb? So he finally watched Crumb with me and his dad. His dad was good friends with Don Donahue, who was one of Crumb's close friends. Don Donahue was in the documentary. One of the best memories of my life is sitting on Don Donahue's rooftop in Oakland, eating pizza, drinking beer. He had this massive comic book collection, all underground stuff, not Marvel or DC, but all the underground comics, Zap comics, all of Crumb's stuff. So, see, Mars and Gemini, I'm so scattered. I'm just rambling. I have a lot of rambles at Patreon. But it's like I said recently in my most recent Patreon video, everything's going to be on ice after December 23rd. I'm going to post a thing in the community section at SIREN Tarot. By the way, people are saying they've not seen my videos in a while. They're not getting notifications. I'm not showing up. Whenever this happens at other channels, the prescription that I've seen again and again is to unsubscribe and then subscribe again. Click the bell for notifications. Okay, so I'm going to post in the community section that I'll be offering a discount from now, today, the 12th, until December 23rd. My $75 readings, which are done on the cam, those will be $50, and my $25 email readings will be $10. Because after the 23rd, I'll be living in my mom's house. She is a devout Christian, and she said I can't read tarot in her home while I'm staying there. There's this book she wants to share with me, Pigs in the Parlor, and I've read the reviews at Amazon. I got the gist. It's a book on demons and how there are demons all over divination. I don't believe that. I'm not a Christian. I was brought up Southern Baptist in Texas. I agree with Neville Goddard and Lynette Janine. I believe the Bible is a book on mind science, and it's a book of empowerment. And once you crack the code, you got something. And I only fuck with the King James Bible because the language is so rich and beautiful. I think the revisions are trash. So, the revised editions. Anyway, so I'm not going to be reading tarot, and I don't know how long it's going to take until we get the rental house. I'm totally dependent on my ex for all of this. He's the one who works the regular jobs. He's the one who'll be getting a new job. He's the one who will be getting the rent house in this small town. I'm just the basic bitch from the North Texas stick shuffling tarot cards. So hopefully Siren Tarot will not die a grisly death. I've worked my ass off on this channel since November 2018. Siren Tarot is a Scorpio. I've worked my ass off on Extra Basic Tarot. I don't know what sign Extra Basic Tarot is, but I've worked my ass off on that. And I have other channels that I upload to just because I feel like it. Sky Radio is affirmations. Ebulance Press, my original YouTube channel, that's all art, books, excerpts from my books, and so forth. And I do a lot of subliminals at all of my goofy channels, the channels that'll probably never be monetized. That's where I put all my artsy stuff. That's where I make my little Canva films. That's where I put my Canva films. ASMR, affirmation subliminals. Okay, so I've not meditated and I need to. So basically for the foreseeable future, if you subscribe to my Patreon, you're doing that in the spirit of support. You believe in me, you believe in what I put out there, and you're showing your support with no real expectations. Okay, because it is maddening to me when people subscribe to my Patreon and then unsubscribe. And there's an exit survey, and one person said on the exit survey, I thought that there would be more uploads. And I'm full aware there are readers who create these Patreons and they do live streams. I've done one live stream for Siren Tarot. And it was a pick a card. This was months ago because I just got your year-end review in my Gmail and it brought up the live stream I'd forgotten about. But I'm not a live stream person. I'm not an extrovert. I'm not that energetic. What I do mostly at Patreon is I do these in-depth astrology videos, tarot tutorials, and lately it's been a lot of rambles, me just rambling. And I'm using the current transits as a jumping off point. So Mars in Gemini, I don't know the exact degree, I think it's in the late degrees of Gemini now. It rubs off against my Virgo stuff. Well, I've got Virgo rising and I've got my Virgo moon at 6 Virgo in the first. What's dominant in my natal chart is Aquarius, Sun and Venus, Virgo, ascendant, moon, Capricorn, Mars, Jupiter, North Node, vertex. So the Gemini energy is crazy making to me. And it's interesting because, as I said, my mom's a Gemini, so her Gemini sun is conjunct my Saturn in Gemini. And we've always had a very difficult dynamic. And then my sun, the double Scorpio, his Saturn in Virgo is conjunct my moon. And I would say it has been a challenging dynamic for me. I've never loved anyone like I've loved my son. It's the fiercest, deepest, strongest love I've ever experienced on this planet. My love for him has kept me in place because if it wasn't for my son, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be in this guest bedroom in this nice brick house in this gated subdivision. I would be in Todos Santos. I would be in Costa Rica. Probably wouldn't be in San Francisco. It breaks my heart. I've had all kinds of San Francisco experiences. I lived there for 1 month, January 2013. And I wanted to make it work, but alas, I was not up for the San Francisco challenge. So I spent some time in a couple of different motel rooms in Eagle Pass. Tried to get the Capricorn to take me across the border to Piedras Negras. And he said, no, if you want to go to Piedras Negras, you are on your own. So that wasn't too cool. But then the Scorpio X took me across to Progreso and Matamoros 3 times. I feel like if I'm going to go across to Mexico, I need to be with a Latino who can speak fluent Spanish. That's in my best interest. I'm a gringa who can just speak the Spanish I see on tarot cards, and I can order a beer in Mexico and ask where the whores are. Not that I need that information, but it's just a cool thing to say. ¿Dónde está las putas? Okay, that's what I got. I may delete this. I'll see how it sounds. Thanks for listening. Peace out.